Hi, sweet lifers. I hope you're having a fabulous day. I wanted to shoot this video for you today. I've been thinking about doing it for a while. I heard a really moving story a couple weeks ago, and it had a really important lesson. And so I wanted to share that with you today. So I want to share the story and then give you the lesson. And the whole point of this is because it's a really great illustration of the power of our minds, and in particular, our subconscious mind. So living the sweet life is not just about eating healthy food, and nourishing your body. It's also about nourishing your mind with nourishing, serving, life-giving thoughts. Because the thoughts that you think over and over again turn to beliefs. And once you believe something, once it's impressed your subconscious, that's when you start experiencing it in your reality. That is what becomes fact and true in your life. That's like the lenses that you see through. So I was at church a couple weeks ago. I go to Mile High Church in Lakewood, and one of the ministers was speaking. Her name's Dr. Michelle. She's phenomenal. I love her. She shared this really personal story. So she shared that when she was in 4th grade, she developed early. So my ladies, you know what I'm talking about. So she shot up. She's 5'4" now. She became 5'4" in 4th grade. So she was really tall for her age, and she also hit puberty early, so she totally started developing. She was getting curvy, she had boobs, she was wearing a bra, so it was uncomfortable. She felt very different from her peers, and she looked different, noticeably different. And because she was different, she started getting teased a lot. And the form that this teasing took on was that she was called fat. So the kids started calling her fat, and she was just mercilessly teased, bullied, they were mean, they called her fat, and it was very painful for her, obviously. And so for a while, she just internalized it. She took it on. She didn't say anything. She felt really bad and ashamed. And then finally, after just weeks and weeks of torment, she reached out and told her mom. And her mom, doing just the best that she knew how at the time, trying to be helpful, said, "You know what, honey, I'm going to help you. Let's get you on a diet." And so at 11 years old, she went on her first diet. And thus began her lifelong weight loss struggle. That was the beginning of it. And this woman is now 40, I want to say late 40s. I'm actually terrible with age. Late 40s, maybe early 50s. She is an incredible speaker. She is just this wonderful, warm woman. She is a wife. She is a mother, extraordinary. And she still struggles with her weight. She is very overweight and admits that this is has been a challenge for her. So I want to just share the fact that, if she had been teased and she hadn't accepted any of this as true, this would have not played out in her experience. But the fact that those thoughts started creeping in, she started accepting this as true, began to impress her subconscious. And by going on a diet, it reinforced that idea that, maybe I am fat. I do need to lose weight. And it started to play out in her subconscious. She experienced an eating disorder in high school. She said she manifested a thyroid condition later on in life. So that became, fat became what she accepted as true about herself. And it totally played out in her experience. Our subconscious minds are so, so powerful, you guys. Science tells us that 95% of our behavior is driven by our subconscious mind, which means that only 5% of our behavior is conscious. So if you've struggled with weight and you've tried to go on a diet and you think, this time I'm gonna rock it out, I'm gonna get to the gym every day, I'm gonna, do this and do that. But in your core, in your subconscious, you believe that you're fat, that you have no willpower, that whatever you start, you never finish. That is where 95% of your power is. So what do you think is going to happen when you try to go on a diet? It's not going to be successful. So this happens in any arena of our life. If there's something you really consciously want and you keep going for it and you keep going for it and you just can't get there, usually it's because you have a story or a belief that you have internalized that is contradicting that which you consciously desire. So I want to ask you, what have you accepted as true about you? And how is that playing out in your life? So oftentimes we don't even know, right? We may have carried this story and this sort of truth that is completely impacting our lives, but it's been with us for so long, we literally have no idea that it's there. So what I want to share with you today is an exercise to help you uncover the stories that you have, those things that you've accepted as true about you, so that you can begin healing them and telling a new story. So this exercise I want to share with you, if that resonates with you, was given to me by a coach of mine, and it was super powerful. So to help you uncover some of those stories that are keeping you stuck, take out a sheet of paper, so a white piece of paper, lined paper, whatever, but turn it on its side, and on the far left write birth or born, and then you want to take a line, write a line, draw a line, and on the far other side you want to go ahead and put now, so right now. So this is your timeline from birth until today. And I want you to just think back through childhood. What were some things that happened, events that were memorable for you? Usually there's going to be a strong emotion there too. Either it's really a negative emotion or a positive emotion. So a lot of joy, a lot of good feelings, or a lot of really, really icky feelings. So it could be, maybe yours was 4th grade, I got bullied and called fat. Maybe, 6th grade, I won the state spelling bee contest and I felt so proud. Maybe it was my parents got divorced when I was in 9th grade. 10th grade, I made the cheerleading squad. Whatever those things are that you really remember that were, important events for you, memorable. And once you've written down all those different events, I want you to journal, take, the back of this paper, you're probably going to need more, but write down the meaning that you made from each of those events. So like with Dr. Michelle, it could have been, bullied and I was called fat, but what was the meaning that she made of that? Maybe it was that, she really was fat. I mean, I had something happened when I was in 4th grade where I won this big contest and I came back and I shared it with my class and I was so excited and proud, and my 2 best friends ignored me and they were mean to me and ganged up on me. And so, it was the meaning I made from that was that if I am too open with my accomplishments, I'm going to get rejected. People are not going to like me. And I carry that with me forever. So write down the meaning that you make from each of those experiences, and you'll start to then see, wow, how has that meaning that you've created shown up for you in your life? How has that impacted, decisions you've made, things that you've chosen to do or not do? You'll start to see that those are the stories that have colored your life. And if you notice that any of those stories are no longer serving you, it's just time to tell yourself a different story. And now you can, because you've identified what that story is. So, for my example, I decided to shift that and know that, believe, consciously tell myself over and over and over again that, what? My friends, people are proud of me and my accomplishments, that people are rooting for me to shine my light and share that with the world. And that's something that I've had to kind of consciously commit to and tell myself over and over again to allow myself to break out, into some zones that are pretty uncomfortable for me. But that's a choice, and I can make it now. And with your subconscious, the important thing is you have to repeat it consciously over and over again. Gotta think that thought, think that thought, think that thought again, and that's how it becomes a belief. So I hope that this has served you. I know this is kind of a long video, but it was just on my heart to share. So I hope that you do this exercise, and if you do and you uncover anything pretty powerful, I'd love to hear about it. So message me on Facebook or shoot me an email at lisa@lisaswazo.com. All right, guys, have a really wonderful day.